Alright guys, today we're going to talk about the K390 Endura. This will be the factory and the first sharpening edge retention testing. I put out the video. For those of you that haven't watched it, I'm super busy lately. I have tons of cutting done and no complete videos, so as I get 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, I'm trying to do video sections so that I can get caught up a little bit and have some content. I'm also running out of space on my camera to record this, so I really need to get some of these done. So the K390 Endura, I did set this one aside for a while because I was doing the Spy 27. I don't remember if I showed the factory edge on this or not prior to testing it. I will check some small clips of footage that I have, but I may or may not have some of those to show you. So, K390. And like I showed in the other video, as I slowly turn this in the light, you're going to see the secondary bevel, and then you're going to see the actual sharpened secondary bevel. I have no idea what angle they sharpened this side at, but the smaller bevel on the bottom, that is 15 degrees on this side right here. And if you flip it over, it's a little bit harder to see on this side out in the daylight. It is not as bad, but this also appears to have two secondary bevels, and this side was probably, if I had to take a stab at it, 13 and a half degrees on this secondary. This one over here, I can't even, couldn't even really tell you what it is. I did measure, and even with that really wide looking bevel above it right there, it is from about here up, it's about 20 thousandths behind the edge, and it actually dips down here in the center to 15 thousandths, and then it thickens back up here at the back. I haven't had many Spydercos this way, but this isn't the first one that I've seen. I did have a lightweight Para 3 and BD1N in that had a dip in it further back here in the back. And I have seen one other one that had it in a different spot. So enough about that. Go ahead and watch the cutting real quick, and we'll come back and talk about how it did, how I sharpened it, what stones I used to sharpen it for the first test, or should I say what grit I went to. We'll cover all that stuff. So throw another little clip in here, and then we'll watch that cutting and come back and talk about it. Alright, now that we saw that cutting and that clip of a geese, he decided he wanted to be in the video today. I'll go ahead and talk about everything that pertains to this one. So, tested the factory edge, and on the factory edge it did 94 feet total. 1-inch section, didn't do fine edge, haven't done it on really any factory edge test, just how much it would actually cut, what you could expect as you take it straight out of the box. So 94 feet. Not terrible. The Rex 45 video that I just put out, obviously that one cut a whole lot more. I would have liked to see this one cut more than it did, but what are you gonna do? So I sharpened it, and like I said, that's when I found the secondary bevel issue and how the grind dips in the center. I did only run this one to 600 grit. That's what I decided to do with this one. All the tests after this, the actual regular testing I do, those all will also be at 600 grit. So sharpened this one 15 degrees per side, 600 grit, strapped it the same way, 631 micron, 5 passes per side, and ran the test again. Just did the total amount cut as a direct comparison to what one sharpening after taking your factory edge off will gain you in performance. So 94 feet on the factory edge. Very first sharpening, didn't go crazy, didn't remove a ton of steel, cut 278 feet. So that is quite an increase off of one sharpening. And I'll continue to talk about it like I told you guys. That is why it is so important to sharpen your knife. I've had some comments about wasting steel and things like that. So I am actually going to do a test. I'm going to take a couple knives that are brand new, and I'll measure them, the height. I'll do my regular testing on them. I'll pick certain points across the blade to measure how tall it is. I'll run the test, then I'll use them for a while, or put a few edges on them and remeasure them, and so on. And I haven't picked a number yet, but maybe we'll go up to 12 or even 15 sharpenings, just so you can get an idea of how little material is actually removed when you do a sharpening. I mean, unless you're really sitting there and working in one spot, you're not taking a whole lot off. So, quite an increase over factory. 94, then up to 278. I didn't do any regular testing yet. I did use the second edge up with all the stuff I'm doing at my house, with moving, with traveling. I just wanted to use it at that point. Used up the second edge, sharpened it again. I am on the third edge right now, and I am using that one. So possibly on the fourth edge, because I have no doubt that this edge is going to make it through the next 11 days or so of the 30-day carry of this. And then I'll go ahead and test it and see what I get. So that will be on the fourth edge and the fifth edge for the testing. So if you have any comments, questions, anything like that. Oh, and as far as sharpening goes, no problem sharpening this. Super easy to deburr. Even on a diamond plate, it almost completely deburrs. This seems to be done very well. It's doing very well in use so far. And I will update that when the 30-day mark hits. But that's all I have for this one. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.